What's up? We got Ace back. Dude, this lighting's crazy. It looks like we're about to do some, I don't know, some kind of ritual. I guess in a way we sort of are. I'm gonna show you which racket I'm actually switching to. It's not that one. It's not that Sinner racket. I'll talk about that in a future video actually. And it's not the VS. I was actually never gonna switch to the VS. This is a custom VS. You can see that paint job. I might have this racket for sale. Let me know if a fan wants to buy it. It's actually in perfectly good shape, but the paint is compromised. Yeah, it's one of these. Why'd you grab that one?
I don't know.
Was it calling to you?
Maybe.
I want to reveal in this video which racket I'm actually going to be switching to, but I'll tell you why. Does anyone have any guesses? I think the majority of people would guess the Pure Aero 98, but I'll tell you real fast, it's actually not, which is kind of a shock to me, and it was a shock to you as well.
It was indeed.
Yeah, but it all makes sense. So, I don't know, I'll take a quick seat on the couch. Yeah, I definitely don't want to make this video too long, but yeah, I am switching to a Dunlop, actually. As I say it out loud, it feels like an April Fool's joke, but it's not. Well, the Pure Aero 98 set a really high bar, and it was for a very long time the racket to beat for me. It set the bar in so many ways. First of all, it had parallel drilling and small grommets, which I care a lot about. If you guys want to see why, you can watch video I will link. The Pure Aero 98 passed the first test by having that, but after playing with it, loved it. A lot of control, good power, but it was predictable, great spin. Yeah, and it wasn't until I just ran out of options and had to try the Dunlop. And again, because it had parallel drilling and small grommets, I just thought, might as well. At first, I really didn't like it. I have a short actually where I reveal why I don't like it. And in that video, I'm ripping balls pretty much. And for some reason, it felt very floppy. And it turns out that all it needed was a lot of weight in the head, especially at the 3 and the 9 area. That actually turned out to do the trick. But I didn't find that out until maybe a month or two later when I came back to try this racket again because of a comment on my YouTube channel saying that maybe it's not fair. Maybe I wrote that racket off prematurely. And so I agree now that I did write that racket off prematurely, but I didn't also realize that it would take that much lead tape to stabilize this racket, and then that I would pretty much love everything else about it afterwards. It's extremely similar and offers me pretty much everything I like about the Pure Aero 98, but it offers me quite a bit more spin, which is scary because the Pure Aero 98 is already quite a spin-friendly racket, but it's so much more comfortable, which is hard to believe. I've never had a racket feel this comfortable, but still hit with this much power, and I'm not saying that it's a super powerful racket, but it's decently powerful. It's competitive with the Pure Aero 98 and this much spin. It's almost like an impossible combination of characteristics in one racket. So I guess that's what you're looking for when you're looking for the perfect racket. You're looking for something that's not really possible, but yeah, in some ways it's possible. I guess the only trade-off that's hard to overlook is how open the string pattern is, but the only reason that that's an issue is because it might break strings really quickly, but with Restring 0 and now Sync and a few options from Tourmaline, namely like Wasabi and so on, I get so much durability out of those strings that I'm not really worried about the string pattern being so open that the strings break prematurely. So without those strings, I don't think that this racket would be realistic for me. If I had Hyper G in here, surely, especially if I'm hitting with my buddy Felipe, shout out Felipe, he's like a UTR 12 something, hits every ball like an absolute truck or a train. Don't really get anything in between. I'd break Hyper G 2 hitting sessions, you think?
Yeah, 3 hours.
Yeah, maybe 3 hours if I'm hitting with him. And that's actually, that would be in quite a bit of rackets, to be honest, but especially this racket. Yeah, without Tourmaline and Restring, probably wouldn't even entertain this racket. So yeah, if you guys want to get a discount on my favorite strings, I have a list of them I'll put down here in the description, but you can get 20% off of Tourmaline and 10% off of Restring. I don't love every string by Tourmaline, but there is a handful of them that to this day impress me with their spin, their snapback, their durability. So check those out in the description below if you're interested. And if it weren't for them, I probably wouldn't even be hitting with this racket. Yeah, do you have any quick thoughts on this racket?
Yeah, hit with it once, felt great, surprisingly plush.
Yeah.
But the power's good, stability's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of did everything that I wanted
Surprisingly,
to do.
you think?
Yeah, I was surprised by how much I liked slices with it.
Yeah.
Launch angle wasn't too high or anything. Yeah, it really didn't feel as open as it is.
And do you notice the spin too, like both on the receiving, but also
for sure.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, the spin's great. Yeah, just hit the ball exactly how I wanted it to.
What do you think's more surprising, the spin or the comfort?
Honestly, I think the comfort's more surprising.
I was going to say the comfort too, because there are rackets that are this spin friendly.
Yeah.
But they're generally kind of like, that's sort of a just that type of racket.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, this doesn't feel like a 68 RA. Feels much lower than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, also not floppy. Like it doesn't feel too flexy. Just nice and comfortable.
Yeah, it's
right
weird.
where I'd want it.
It's weird because it has the comfort of something that has a much lower flex, but it doesn't actually flex like it has the flex.
Exactly, yeah.
It's very strange. I honestly, I don't have any other racket in mind to describe as a reference point for how this feels.
Me neither, honestly.
It's so weirdly comfortable.
On paper, it doesn't seem like something I'd like at all.
Yeah, same here. That's probably why I never tried it. If it wasn't for my weird obsession for parallel drilling at small grommets, I don't know if I'd ever consider this racket. Because the fact that it's painted yellow and has this open string pattern, I'm like, oh, this is just Dunlop's attempt to like tap into the Babolat pure Aero market. This racket is definitely like its own thing. Even if it is trying to be that in some way, it's certainly extremely unique in how it feels. I think this probably gets quite a bit more spin than the pure Aero anythings, honestly. The pattern's so much more open and the spin is just ridiculous.
It is.
Yeah, but with as much weight as I've put on, I can hit through the ball just fine. I can flatten out shots on here. Like it's really doing what I want, and it's so comfortable, and it's just hard to turn that down. So yeah, I'm probably going to switch to this. It's going to be the 300 or the 300 Tour. I'm actually going to take a little bit of time to figure out which one, because they're very similar. My reasons for, well, not being entirely sure which SX I would switch to between these two is because I haven't had enough time comparing the two models that I would consider. This Tour model's a 98, this one's a 100. The reason that intrigues me, it's slightly wider and slightly longer. I don't really care about the length, but the width of the head adds some stability to the twist weight. So the 3 and the 9 is actually more stabilized at the same weight just because it's a little further apart. The same way that you can increase the swing weight of a racket if you extend it, you can increase the stability of a racket by making the head a little bit bigger, especially across the 3 and the 9. So that is one of the differences between these two rackets. I feel like it would just be inherently more stable, but it might also inherently be a little bit more launchy because it is a slightly larger head, slightly longer mains. So we'll see. I want to give it some time and kind of match it to the Tour and see how I feel and isolate that as the variable and see, yeah, just give it enough time to see which one I really want. But I'm extremely confident, and I'm making this video just to hold myself accountable to switching, because the only way my tennis is going to continue to get better is if I actually switch to a racket and get really accustomed to it, and then stop adjusting to the racket, stop adjusting to the string setups, and just, yeah, I mean, I'm taking on so much. I'm doing this whole ambidextrous tennis thing. I'm sure some people watching this video don't even know that. But yeah, there's playtest footage in here. I'm hitting ambidextrously, and I have been for almost, I think, the last 4 months now. Point is, I don't need to complicate my tennis anymore, adjusting to a new shot entirely. Yeah, I mean, imagine hitting forehands on both sides. That's what I'm doing. It helps to pick a racket. And I think doing that pushed me to like this racket a little bit more, actually getting that brush to pull the ball over the net. Those are my reasons. That's what's going on. And if you guys want to get 10% off of this racket or all other rackets that are currently on the market, that saves you 10%. That could be like 50 bucks with the cost of rackets nowadays. Shipping is only $5 per order, as long as you're getting it from the same seller. So if you're clever, you can save quite a bit of money using my code. It's only available on iOS, but the link for all that is down in the description. Again, shoutouts to Tourline and Restring. I think they make the best strings on the market right now. 20% off Tourline, 10% off Restring. My code for that and link for that is below. Great way to support the channel. Volley Wellness. They make an amazing electrolyte. Best ingredients, amazing flavors. You can get 15% off your first order, 10% afterwards. It's a good deal. And I would recommend Volley over Element and Liquid IV, which are the two big names out there. The ingredients and the price on this are better. If you're already having those, definitely consider Volley. If you don't take electrolytes, consider electrolytes. I highly recommend Volley over the other options out there. And there are more discounts. You can check out the links below for everything. And the last one is a shout out to Michael Kavanaugh, who got me a coffee. He says, love live tennis. I initially thought he was trying to say maybe long live tennis.
That too.
Some people say tennis is a dying sport, but that's not true.
Pickleball's coming.
Pickleball's coming for tennis, but I don't think it means tennis is dying.
No,
tennis is maybe
I don't even think it's really threatened.
Nah.
I don't think it's really common. Mine was more of a joke.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, shout outs to Michael Kavanaugh. And if you guys want a shout out or to support the channel directly, that's a great way to do so. The money just goes straight to me. It's a good way to donate to the channel, support it directly. So thank you, Michael Kavanaugh, again for your coffee. I'll put some leather on here. I like leather grips now. Again, like, subscribe, comment. You can message me. I am responsive to DMs on Instagram, but also comments here on YouTube. And links for all the places you can follow me and all the discounts and ways to support the channel are down below. So thank you so much for watching. And yeah, stay tuned. I'll have updates on Sinner's racket, quote unquote, and my ambidextrous tennis journey as well. That'll be one of my upcoming videos. So stay tuned for that. All right. I'll see you guys in the next one. Nice. Nailed it.